Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Thank you for joining us this Friday, February 12th. Only 2 days till Valentine's Day, so be sure you remember to do something special for those you love. We have a fun and informative show for you today. We'll be down at the Steele County History Center talking with Mike Jensen about the Around the World Food and Brewfest. And then later on in the show, we'll also be meeting a couple of the home brewers. So you'll want to stay with us for that. Today is Friday, so we're going to celebrate our Owatonna Today Show sponsors and let you know who they are. Our premier sponsors are the City of Owatonna Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Brookdale Senior Living Solutions, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Foundation. Our interlude sponsors include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center and Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Business Incubator, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. And we hope you will support these fine Owatonna businesses and that support the Owatonna Today Show. Please say thanks to them when you see them out and about. This show is able to continue because of them. We will take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Mike Jensen. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and we're here at the Steele County Historical Center visiting with Mike Jensen and Jerry Ganfield, our little dumpling maker, and some helpers here that are busy at work getting things ready for the Food and Brew Festival. But we're going to be talking at first here with our very own Mike Jensen, and welcome to the show, Mike.
Well, thank you.
We're so
great to be here.
So glad you're here. Well, let's start things out. What is the Around the World Food and Brew Fest?
Well, I'll start you back just a little bit. It's a fundraiser actually for Culturfest, which is a multicultural outdoor festival that happens the fourth Saturday of every September. So we've been doing, I think this is our 18th year that Culturfest has existed. And so it's been a lot of fun. But as you know, with any large festivals, there takes some dollars to make that happen. So this is an event. It originally started out as German Brewfest, then we did Irish Brewfest, then we did British Brewfest, maybe not in that order, but we did a specific country. And then about that time was when the History Center came into being, and the director at the time of the History Center reached out to us and said, you know, would you ever consider doing a joint venture and hold it here at the History Center? And so we thought about that, and then the idea kind of emerged of, why pick one specific country when we can do an around the world theme? And so it kind of shifted into Around the World Food and Brew Fest. And the way that we changed it up as far as the brew part goes, initially it used to be we would focus on whichever country we were talking about, the brews that came from that country. Now we've actually shifted and we use home brewers. And so we'll have 10 home brewers that will be on site here that day with their product. And everyone that comes gets to be a judge. So as a judge, you have to evaluate the home brew. And the best way to do that is
By drinking the brew?
just a little bit, yeah. So
what
you
fun.
get to taste a little bit of everybody's brew.
Awesome.
And then you vote for the People's Choice, and we have a really cool stein that we give away to the People's Choice Award winners. And I think you'll be talking with one of them later in the show today. I think you'll be talking with Korey. I can't think of Korey's last name. Borchert. Thank you, Jerry. With Korey Borchert a little later, and he was our People's Choice, I think, last year.
Okay.
So he's going to talk to you about the process.
So how did you get involved? Is it because you were involved with the Culturefest and it brought you on into this event?
Culturefest is where I started out with. I attended the very first Culturefest, made a few suggestions on how they might promote it differently. You know what happens when you make a few suggestions. Next thing you know, you're on the committee. So I've been on since year 2 with the committee. It's a great organization. A great group of people work on Culturefest, and that's a year-round. We meet every month, year-round, planning and preparing for that. And so this is just an added activity to it as well. My role within Culturefest is really looking at the promotion, the marketing, those kinds of activities. And there's lots of other people that help us out. Linda Breyer, who's here helping Jerry, she's actually part of our volunteer coordinator. She coordinates all the volunteers. Sue Schrader is the head person. Rod Baker does sound and food for the event. And then we have, Mandy Young she's our treasurer, as well as opening ceremonies, Kelly DeBrune. There's a whole group of folks that are a part of the festival.
Plus dumpling volunteers.
Well, Jerry, and that's really good you bring that up. I mean, as I said, this is a joint venture with the two groups.
Correct.
Kind of coming together. And so we bring folks from the Historical Society that are a part of the committee, as well as from Culturefest that are a part of the committee. And what we've really tried to do is leverage our revenue opportunities. And one of the ways that we can really leverage that is by making a lot of the food ourselves. We have a fully licensed catering kitchen that we're in here. It makes a lot of sense for us to take recipes we're familiar with, know of. I think Jerry actually went to Russia and has some personal experience with this food delicacy, and he's probably going to talk with you about that in a little bit. But others have different interests that they bring to the table as well.
So if I want to attend the event, walk me through the sequence of things. I come in the front door.
Let's first of all get your ticket.
Okay.
Tickets are $25, and there's a ton of different ways you can get tickets. You can get them online through either the Culturefest website or the steelhistorymuseum.org website. You can get them at the History Center, Triam, Kotke's, any Culturefest member. They're only $25. So a full evening's worth of entertainment, all the food. You'll sample food from 9 countries, plus some desserts on top. You'll have 10 home brewers that you get to sample from. And what people have really found is this a great way for groups of people to come out and just hang out together. There is not an agenda. There's not a set schedule of things. We will have some silent auction items out. And typically what we do with that is we put some of the food items out so people can get a little more of them if they like them. They can bid on those. So when you come in the door, you'll start out with the home brewing. That's at 5 o'clock. And you'll have a chance to do that. And then from there, you'll move into the food. That opens up at 6 o'clock. And there'll be 9 different stations strategically placed throughout the History Center. So we put the food stations right in with the exhibits. And so you just work your way around to the 9 different stations throughout the evening. By the time you're done, you're full, you've had some great drink. It's a wonderful evening.
I've seen some of the photos of the food in the publicity and all, and it looks delicious. And microbrewers, they do a good job. You get a good glass of beer.
You
or
do.
Whatever
and
they brew.
They really work hard at it, and they've already. I think probably most of theirs are kegged already, because I think the cycle time you'll find out from them, but we're probably in that time that they've had to keg their product already. So
we're in this catering kitchen at the Historical Center, and you touched on food.
Right.
And so what do we have going on over here?
Probably should let Jerry tell you about that.
Okay. This is Jerry Ganfield. Hi, Jerry.
We're making, Linda and I are making Russian pelmeni, and it's something that I first enjoyed in 1991. When I was over with my friend, we were kind of batching while his wife was out of the house, and so pelmeni was something easy to make. We bought it at the store, of course, and then we boiled it and ate it. And I liked it, and as Mike said, you suggest something to this committee, you then do it. So that's why Linda and I are doing this, because it was my suggestion. But we have food from El Salvador and Germany and Latvia, China, Russia, Haiti, Syria, Canada, Mexico, and Italy. So, there's a lot to try, and I hope people will like this, because once we're done here, we freeze it, and that night we boil it, and then you have it with butter, salt and pepper, or sour cream. Some people like vinegar on it.
Can you, since you have your gloves on, can you raise it up? Since you have your gloves on, can you raise this up and show the cameras?
Well, we take some pasta dough and we put meat in it, and this can be of different varieties. What we have here is turkey and pork. We're making some just plain turkey too. We have garlic and onion and salt and pepper. There's a little bit of buttermilk and sour cream in the dough. You just roll it up, pinch it, bring it back, and you're done until you put it in the freezer to freeze it.
Well, I have to tell you, it smells wonderful. It looks delightful, so I'm definitely going to try some of those.
I hope you will, and some of the other food, because that's what I enjoy it, since I'm not a beer drinker, but I like this event because you get to learn a lot and you get to taste a lot.
Now, are you involved in making any other dishes?
Well, we have more people coming in, and so there's another dessert being, our brew. We're making some pumpkin soup, and that crew is coming in shortly.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Well, it smells great in here. I'm not kidding. It smells wonderful. I wish you had the pot boiling. We could have a little snack.
Sample, yeah, exactly. Well, and with the food, I mean, there's lots of different food that'll be here. You know, everything from the German food, we have the traditional bratwurst, but we do it a little different. We'll be serving it on a pretzel roll, along with homemade red cabbage, which is to die for.
Oh,
that's
I
a
love
true
red cabbage.
favorite of most folks. So, and it's a really simple, fun evening. Great way to come out, enjoy your friends, enjoy just, you know, and it's a Friday night. What better to do on a Friday night after working all day to come out and hang out with friends, enjoy some brews, and have some great food.
You're absolutely right. So once again, for those that might be watching for the first time or have just joined us, go over all the contact information, where they can get tickets.
Absolutely. It's Culturfest. It's Around the World Food and Brew Fest put on by Culturfest as well as the Steele County Historical Society. $25 will get you in for the evening. You get to judge all of the home brews as well as sample food from 9 different countries plus desserts. And just a full evening. The other thing is you do get to get into the exhibits because we don't take those out, they stay in. So you'll see the LTO exhibit, which I think you worked on, celebrating 50 years of LTO. The Ellendale exhibit, as well as Vietnam is the other exhibit that's up.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a great event, and I can't thank you enough on behalf of our town and the Owatonna Today Show for all you do in the community, and you as well. We're going to take a short break and hear a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to be back and we'll meet the microbrewers who will be featuring their beers here at the Food and Brew Fest. So you won't want to miss this. Please stay with us.
Hi, this is Eric with the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. A heated swimming pool, sauna, running track, cardio room, basketball court, weight room, and 6 tennis courts are among the amenities you can enjoy at our facility. We have a variety of membership packages available to meet the needs of everyone, or you can simply drop in for the day. Stop out today and take advantage of all we have to offer. West Hills Tennis and Fitness, encouraging and promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Deb Gillard. And I'm Shawn McNulty with Brookdale Owatonna Assisted Living and Memory Care,
where we provide optimum living activities to keep our residents engaged in life.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Center, and we're talking to 2 microbrewers who are going to be bringing their beer to the Around the World Food and Beer Fest later this month. And to my left, I'm talking with Terrance Flynn. Hi, Terrance. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show.
Thank you.
And to my right is Korey Borchert. Welcome, Korey.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, for those of us in the viewers out there who don't know what microbrewing is, Korey, why don't you start? What is microbrewing?
Microbrewing to me, is basically brewing in a much smaller scale versus what the large companies, the professionals are doing, the big, outputting sources. We're doing it at a very small scale with downsized equipment and doing it for our own use and consumption.
Terrance, Korey mentioned that you do it in small amounts. What type of amounts in a measurement?
Well, typically, your average home brewer is really only brewing in a 5-gallon batch at a time. We have the ability to do a little bit larger. There's people that do 1 gallon at a time, just depending upon the space they have available, time that they want to dedicate to it, and how many batches they want to do in a year.
How did you, Terrance, get involved in microbrewing?
Mine was, it wasn't presented as a choice. It was my dad brewed for, a little over 20 years. And then when he was no longer able to do it physically, he just told me that I was going to, and that he was going to be teaching me. So me being the good son that I am, I said, okay.
Yeah. But I see a little twinkle there. You do enjoy it.
I do enjoy it, yeah.
Okay. And Korey, how did you get involved in microbrewing?
I basically got involved because of Terrance. I met him through work, doing some things, and we got conversating about it, and I basically begged for him to teach me what I was doing.
Okay. And what do you enjoy most about it?
I think I like the combination that it does. It's kind of, for me, a combination of cooking, a combination of the artistics that you get to do to build it, and a little bit of just watching Mother Nature run its course when you get into the fermentation side.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Terrance? What do you enjoy most about it?
I like those same things. The creativity part, where you can take the recipe and then work it and tweak it to your own individual tastes. Or, my wife enjoys the beer, but she will often say, I want a little bit more of something. And so then I adjust the recipe and try and get it to the way that she wants it, or from feedback from other people.
What type of beer will you be bringing to the Brewfest?
My beers will be an apple ale, which is a pretty popular ale choice right now. It's really a combination of an apple hard cider and a brown ale beer, as well as a Belgian wit, which is a lighter wheat beer from Belgium.
Sounds wonderful. And Korey, what will you be bringing as your beer choice?
I have 4 beers I'm going to be bringing. My first would be an IPA, which is an India Pale Ale. It's a big hoppy beer, so the hopheads that like all that will be a big fan of that one. I'm also bringing just an American Pale Ale, which is more for the people that like a lighter beer, not necessarily a big hoppy beer, not a big grainy beer. I'm bringing a Winter Warmer, which is a high alcohol type beer. It also has some homegrown spruce tips in it. And then for my kind of crowd pleasing type beer, I'm bringing a hard root beer.
So we talked a little bit about your beer and your hobby as microbrewers. Would you be so kind as to show us some of the equipment that you use?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll start maybe on this side here, which is easiest. This is what we use for our fermentation process. You can use a lot of different types of containers. This is known as a carboy, but you can use a bucket. A lot of people just use just a pail type thing. So it's one way to do it. This is a grain mill, which allows us to take our grains, our barleys, and grain them and cut them down, mill them down without crushing them 100%. It kind of opens it up and lets it to receive the water that's going to be put into it. This piece of equipment, which most people kind of looks like a still, but it's actually what we use for cooling down our wort after a boil. Cold water passes through this. This goes right in the container, and we get down to a cooling temperature as fast as possible using something of this nature. This is what I use for my heat source. I do it in a big garage, so I can use propane. You can definitely brew inside your house. You can use your stove top. You could use an electric heat source. Different ways to get there. That's just my choice. And then this is my kettle or my pot that I use. We had talked about 5 gallons. That's traditionally the size batches I do, so that's what that pot kind of is best used for. So I think that's primarily most of the equipment there.
Now, I see some of the grain here, and what is that used for in microbrewing?
That is, everybody will use that, whether you're a microbrewer or you're a full-scale brewery. This is our barley. This particular one is for a porter that we'll be doing. This is traditional size amounts for a 4 or 5 gallon batch. So this is the malts, the heart of the beer. And the other piece that you always have, the beer always consists of 2 things, malts, and the other one is hops at some different level. From there, there's beers that will have very little hops and a ton of grain, and then there's beers that will have the exact opposite of that, will have a very simple grain bill with a lot of hops in it, so different styles.
And how did you start out when you became a brewer? Did you just start with all of this, or?
No, you do it piece by piece, and you build your collection like anything else. I had a very basic setup, and one thing always leads to another. You need to have that, or it's a new gadget, so you got to go try for that piece out. And I think for most of us, we get a system down. We find out what our equipment does and what it does best, and we get used to using that equipment. So after a while, you don't buy new stuff anymore just because you're so used to using the thing that you have.
And how about yourself, Terrance?
Mine, like I told you before, I started because of my father. And then once he deemed me worthy, then he gave me everything he had accumulated for 20 years. The part, just to expand a little bit on Korey, is you have your system, and then eventually you start to try and find one more thing to worry about. And you don't really have to, because the yeast is doing its thing that God wants it to. But you want to start trying to manipulate the water, or you really want to dial in the exact hop bitterness, or whatever. There's always going to be one more thing, and then you find something to ease your mind on that.
So why do you come to Brewfest?
I came, I think I started the second year that they had it. I was asked to, I wanted to go and just experience the world food side, as well as the beers that they have for the event. And then they asked me to kind of help out with the brewing contest part that they wanted to add in the following year.
And Korey, why do you come to Brewfest?
This will be my second time. So I started last year just because I had been brewing now for a year, and I felt comfortable enough to start sharing my stuff with other people. And it's a great way for me to meet the other brewers that are around the area.
Exchange tips and recipes
Absolutely.
And all that?
Absolutely.
Try to get out little pieces of equipment
Absolutely.
they may have that you don't?
Yeah,
They got nothing.
Yeah.
For a full session, what we call all grain session, it can be pretty much an all day project. You'll have 6 hours in it from start to finish. And then there's a process of the fermentation can be 3 weeks, it can be 6 months, depending on what style that you're brewing.
So with what you are bringing to the Beer Fest, when did you make your batch?
Well, I made the apple ale this fall because I used fresh squeezed apple juice from the orchard. I didn't need to make it that early. I made the Belgian wit early in January, just to give it enough time to age.
Okay. And real quick, Korey, when did you make your batches?
I'm still in the process of making mine right now. Actually, the IPA, I want it to be very freshly hopped, so I want to introduce my hops shortly before I need to start carbonating. So,
really quick,
yeah.
In a few words, what tip would you give a new brewer wanting to come on board?
Find another brewer that's done it and hang out with them.
Okay. And how about you, Terrance?
Time is important, but temperature is critical.
Great. Well, we want to thank you both for filling our heads with this new information, and we'll see you at the Brewfest on February 19th here at the Historical Center. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break to hear a message from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and we hope you enjoyed visiting with our friends down at the History Center. I know I did. Today we're going to read some community announcements for you. Little Theater of Owatonna announces its winter play, Harvey. Harvey was adapted into the iconic film in 1950 starring James Stewart. This production was originally performed at LTO in 1972. Production dates are February 19th, 20th, 25th, 26th, 27th at 7:30 p.m., and then a matinee on February 21st at 2 p.m. Show tickets are available online at littletheaterofowatonna.org or at the LTO box office beginning on February 15th. So you'll want to sure and get your tickets for that in advance. It's a popular one. We have here Julie Klassen, Minnesota Book Award winner for fiction, will speak at the Owatonna Library Thursday, February 25th from 7 to 8 p.m. Our fourth annual Mike Hansen Memorial Washerboard Tournament will be Saturday, March 12th. Eagles Club. It will be at the Eagles Club at 141 East Rose Street. Join us for a day of fellowship and friendship in remembrance of our good friend Mike Hansen. All proceeds from this tournament will be donated to the Owatonna Park and Rec Scholarship Program in Mike Hansen's name. Questions, you can call Wes Jones at 507-456-4280. Tournament entries must be due no later than March 5th. Crisis Resource Center is having their 15th annual Healing the Hearts of Our Children luncheon. Guest speaker will be Vicki Crompton, Tuesday, March 29th, noon to 1 p.m. at the Owatonna Country Club. Luncheon tickets are $25. And Ann Peterson, Museum Director of the Minnesota State Public School Orphanage Museum, will be speaking at the Steele County History Center on Thursday, February 18th at 7 p.m. The subject will be Stories from the State School, Desertion, Indenture, and Murder. Admission to the lecture is free for Steele County Historical Society members and $2 for non-members. Well, that wraps up our messages and our community announcements for today. And don't forget, Sunday is Valentine's Day, so do something special for those you love on Sunday. And from Leanne, Alt, and myself, we want all our sponsors and viewers to know we love having you here, and be sure to join us on Monday when our guests will be we're going to be at the LTO production of Harvey, interviewing them and what's going on down there. And then we're going to be talking to Dave Efforts from TPS Insurance, so you won't want to miss that. In the meantime, have a great weekend, enjoying Valentine's Day, and again, see you on Monday.